here we've got the Cesium 133. This is the world's most accurate wristwatch. It's accurate to 1 second in 1,000 years, essentially, easiest way to put it. And inside of it is a chip that's been used by the military primarily, called a chip-scale atomic clock. And that chip inside of it has all the workings of a real atomic clock. It's got Cesium 133, that's why we call it the Cesium 133, that's the atomic number for cesium. And it's got a heater, a laser, a microwave generator, and a photodiode. I think the best way to understand it is that the gas heats up, it's excited by the microwaves, and it's pumped by the microwaves to exactly a frequency, a little bit over 9 billion pulses per second. And at exactly that frequency, the cesium resonates in the chamber, and it maintains that resonance, and that defines a second. That's actually the scientific definition of the second, is the 9,192,000,000 vibrations of cesium gas each second. Pretty cool. And it all just runs on rechargeable batteries now. I'm proud of this. This is amazing. I mean, you wonder, I thought the Swiss would bring this out at Basel World, and I'm not really sure why they haven't. They have infinite resources. I've seen some indication that they're working on this, and I think that in the future we'll see a lot of this type of technology in everyday items. But I was rushing really hard because I did not think that we could be first. But we were. It was amazing the amount of attention we got in media, tech blogs, all over the world, in German and Russian and Japanese and Korean. Cesium 133, it blew my mind. We had 100,000 hits to our YouTube page in like 3 days. Unbelievable. I mean, people have made fun of its size. It's funny, it's big, I agree, it's big. It's a prototype, but it's not, I mean, if you think about what cell phones were when they first came out, well, they were huge. And we are anticipating that the chips will get smaller, and certainly compared to this, our next production piece will be considerably slimmer. Case has to remain pretty much the same size because of the chip is pretty big. But we'll make it more sleek, make the design. We have some renderings that we'll be doing. We're going to 3D print the cases out of metal, so they'll be customizable. That's kind of a nice thing. But the people who get this will have something that no one else has. They'll have one of the 6, or maybe we'll make 10 of the world's most accurate watches. What you're going to see in the future is this technology is going to become commonplace maybe 10 years from now. But there is only one first one. This is it. I mean, it's making a rendering of a watch and putting it in a design category in Kickstarter is one thing. But having a functional prototype, having a watch in your hand that's running, that uses a brand new technology, is not easy. And so we're hoping to find people who are going to invest or are going to make pledges to sponsor our Kickstarter campaign, who will see the beauty in the technology, kind of feel the connection to our brand. Maybe they'll look us up on the internet and see what our customers say. We have customers who really like what we do. So we did this as sort of a thing to appeal to just a small number of people who like something unique and innovative, and as a way of people learning more about Bathurst, Hawaii, and our ethos, our style, which is to do something innovative and to sort of be a little bit of a thorn in the side of the big Swiss brands who ought to be doing things that are a little bit more like this. So it'll come with a few other accessories. It'll come with software to set it, to check all the parameters, and it'll come also with a GPS time base, a receiver, so that it'll receive the signals from the GPS satellites, and that's where you can get your time signal to send into it. So it'll sync with that time base, and you'll basically have the watch, have the chip on, warmed up, ready to go, have the time set to a few seconds in the future, wait for your GPS to link up and give you the time, and when it gets to the right time, you just turn it on and the motor starts running. And from that point on, as long as you kept it charged, it'll stay within 1 second for 1,000 years. And of course, you know, you're not going to live 1,000 years and all those kinds of things. 1,000 years, who knows what's going to be. So it's kind of a funny, philosophically, it's interesting. But the truth of the matter is that turn that on and that's it. The watch switches over to the Cesium oscillator, and it's unprecedented accuracy. This chip is actually more accurate than the chips that are in the GPS satellites right now. They use a slightly less accurate technology. They've got relativity effects, so that's not really an issue because you're not traveling 30,000 miles an hour. We're not brand new. We've been making watches for 8 years. We've made thousands of watches. We have satisfied customers all over the world. We have very high expectations of ourselves. We have very high standards of what we consider quality, and we're just so excited to be doing this. We just can't. When people start, I'm interested to see who buys one. I'm interested to see who supports those campaign, and we plan to work with those people and get feedback. And we're thinking about right now doing a 3D printed metal version where there'll be some chance for the person to customize the watch or change the case, do some pretty fun things like that. So these are fun times we live in, where you can take an idea and make a 3D model and print it in metal and have your own bespoke piece. So we like that. So that's the approach we're going to take for these 6 people who get the $6,000 pledge. It makes a statement. No one's going to miss this. I'm a little concerned about taking it through TSA, but I'll let them swab it.